And we are back. I told you you'll see me again. Hey man, RiSSky Powerhouse Pod, we in here one more time. Hey, I'd like to send a big shout out to all of the new subscribers. Big shout out to all of the new viewers. Hey man, y'all have been showing so much love over the course of the last couple of days. I'm excited. I'm appreciative. I'm thankful. All of those things because you guys have been showing so much love in the Facebook group, the Instagram page. You guys keep sending me those messages, keep those conversations coming. The Twitter, like I told y'all, live feeds during the games on Twitter. Follow the RiSSky Powerhouse on Twitter, on Instagram. Get in the Facebook group. All of those links will be below in the description because, like I said, we growing together. Your cousins, friends, cousins, uncles, dads, moms, sisters, nephew, cousins, sister is gonna be you get where I'm going with that, man. Spread the message. That's all I mean. That's all I mean. Spread the message. The last video, had 11,000 views. Very appreciative of that. That lets me know that you guys have been sharing and because it did better than the first video. And we up to 228 subscribers. I'm sitting here right now, 6:15 a.m. Wednesday morning. It's been a long night for me. We actually, as I just refreshed the page, we're up to 231 subscribers. And I'm just so appreciative of that, man. It's like constant growth, and with growth comes more responsibility, and I'm understanding of that. So like I told y'all, quality, consistent content. Y'all see my new best friend right here? Yeah, I haven't named her yet, man, but I'm gonna get real familiar with this microphone because I'm gonna be spitting to y'all, dropping these videos like mixtapes. Might as well call it a mixtape. But nah, seriously, y'all, let's get into the slate that was last night. I got into one game intimately last night. I only can watch one. Had to go to work last night. However, it was a really good game. It was the Brooklyn Nets in Dallas versus the Mavericks. Luka and Porzingis was looking real good in the first half. They had a decent little lead, but the Brooklyn Nets, they just hung around, and the Mavericks allowed them to. And once the game got tight down the stretch, Kevin Durant, James Harden did their thing, got a couple of clutch buckets, and that was pretty much the game. The Dallas Mavericks settled for a lot of shots. Porzingis missed a lot of bunnies. I actually like that they're being more decisive with giving Porzingis the ball in mismatches. There's no reason why 7-1, 7-2 guys shouldn't be in the lane dominating. He don't have to post up and create out of the post, but pick and rolling, keeping your hands high, putting responsibility on the guards to make it a priority to get them the ball at those times. That should be a big key for the Dallas Mavericks going forward. They looked really good in the first half versus Brooklyn Tuesday, but it just ain't work out for them in the end. They got outscored by 14 points in the fourth quarter. Brooklyn put up 27 points. Dallas only scored 13 points, and that was pretty much the game. It was another game last night that I wanted to get into, but I just couldn't. But it was the Lakers versus the Celtics. Had to go to work, like I said, so I couldn't get into it intimately. I followed along, but it's just not the same as when you're watching it. It just seemed like when you watch the updates, Jason Tatum was out there dolo. Like, he was solo dolo. Dolo means you by yourself. It's just crazy how, Jaylen Brown wasn't playing last night, so, it's understandable that those guys couldn't get, but they couldn't get, it's understandable that those guys couldn't get overall team production from, as if you would have Jaylen Brown, but come on, Dennis Schroeder was bad, Robert Williams got a couple of highlights, but other than that, Jason Tatum pretty much carried him. And you got the big three with the Lakers all playing efficiently. Anthony Davis, 16 rebounds, 17 points, over 50% from the field. LeBron, 13 for 19. Last game, LeBron shot 9 for 23 versus the Clippers, so he wanted to make up for that, I'm sure, in terms of efficiency, 13 for 19. And Russell Westbrook, 24 points and 11 assists. That's a really good game, solid game. And it's good to see the Lakers get back in the winning column. And on a quick tip, I want y'all guys to take a listen in on this video and tell me, this guy is not primed for another 3 years.
Said, nothing brings more joy to me at this point.
Do you still think about the possibility that you guys can play together, or is that?
Well, I mean, absolutely, and my son is putting in the work, and we don't really talk. We never talk about it. But his dream is to play in the NBA. That's what he hoped to be in the NBA and played at a high level, and he has my support and my blueprint. So, obviously with health and with a little bit of luck, that will be the ultimate thing for me to be on the same court as my son.
Yeah, come on, like this dude LeBron, man, he it's crazy how it seemed like he been in the league for 19 years. This year 19, so he been in the league for 18 and a half years pretty much, and it seemed like he might make it to 21 years. Like he might play 21, 22 years in the league. We don't know. It's all speculation, but he can retire next year. He can retire in this summer, at the end of the summer. We never know, but it's just crazy how those things happen. Let's get into some quick news. A couple of shockers over the course of the weekend with the NBA. CJ McCollum, man, I'm so sorry to hear it. Man. But it says CJ McCollum is out indefinitely with a collapsed lung. He was injured in the fourth quarter of a 145-107 blowout against Boston last game. It's just sad to see CJ go down with Dame Lillard being out with injury over the course of the last 3 to 4, maybe 5 games, and he's expecting to come back, and he come back, and it just seemed like the course is run. I mentioned it in my first video, but it just seemed like the course is run its course in Portland for Damian Lillard, and it's just sad to see it crumble down, But this will happen when you stick it out, when there's no more assets left, when there's no more attraction left, It's just sad to see Dame Lillard go out like this. But, it's not over for him. We're not going to bury him into a grave as if his career is over. I'm sure he got a few more good years of basketball, but this season just not going to go well for him. CJ was averaging 20 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. I'm not a big CJ McCollum fan. Excuse me, he's a cool dude, cool as a person, but he's not really like the type of player I would want as my number 2 option on my team. He's more of a 6-man type of spark player, and if you have like a big lineup outside of him, maybe he can be your 3rd option in your offense. That's the type of player I think he should be on the impactful level. I think CJ should be 16 points, 3 or 4 assists, 3 or 4 rebounds, and he just get a lot of shots up in a little bit of minutes. That's the type of player he would be on my team, but that's neither here nor there. But I want y'all to take a listen in on what I said in my first video. I want Portland, me personally, I want Portland to fall as low as possible because I like player movement. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a problem with Damian Lillard at all. Personally, I think he's done everything for Portland that he possibly can do. But, dog, it's time to go. It's time to go. And it's okay. Every superstar pretty much comes to that point in their career with their home team where it seems like, everything should have went a certain way, but it just don't, bro. And that's fine. That's fine. But hey, man, I like player movement, like I said. And I like parity. Yeah, so, I wanted to see it. I don't want to see it happen like this. I didn't necessarily mean I want an injury to happen or something like that. But these are the things that happen, when you only can depend on 1 or 2 people. Now one is gone. Now it's all on you. But it's not like Dame haven't been in this situation before. I trust that, maybe he can, maybe still steal a playoff spot. But, the West is tight and it don't look too good for him at this moment. Let's move it over to the East Coast. Man, the Pacers come out with reports that they're willing to trade Miles Turner, Domantas Sabonis, Karis LeVert, and maybe Malcolm Brogdon. They are going into a rebuild. I'm not sure if it's a rebuild or a retool, but they might be just putting out these reports just to get rid of one either Miles or Sabonis, so that Malcolm Brogdon and a couple of their younger players that they have that they trust could flourish. I'm not sure if they're going into a retooling process or if they're going into a true rebuild where they want to really get rid of Malcolm Brogdon, get rid of Sabonis, get rid of Miles Turner, bring in a flurry of picks, get dynamic in the way that they go youthful as did OKC and teams like the Orlando Magic and the Houston Rockets right now. They're all young, so I'm not sure if Indiana want to go there or if they just want to, get some different pieces, to maneuver in a different way that maybe benefit their offense or their defensive scheme with Rick Carlisle coming in. They're just making changes. I think with Rick Carlisle, he's a competitive coach. That's the reason why I question it. I don't think Rick Carlisle signed a long-term deal to sign up for a complete lottery rebuild. No, I think Rick Carlisle is putting this out so that he can see his options, bring in maybe more dynamic guard play or maybe more dynamic wing play. They still haven't seen T.J. Warren in over a year, so they might be looking to get rid of him, even though he said he want to stay. I'm not sure about if any team is willing to put a lot of stock into what T.J. Warren have to offer at this given moment, but that's to be seen, man. It's just crazy what's going on up there in Indiana. I know guys playing on eggshells right now. They're walking on eggshells as they play, especially younger guys. They don't know what's going to happen, and it's just interesting to see. Like I told y'all, I like to talk about the younger players. And I watched the game. Was it Sunday? If I'm not mistaken, it was Sunday, and it was just good to see. Even though they didn't win, it's just good to see the Charlotte Hornets still out there competing. Like, it seems to me like they have the young players that they believe in, and they're gonna do whatever it takes for them to basically stay competitive. The coach James Borrego, he have to be commended for the effort he's put in. Even though they allowed Joel Embiid to have 43 points and 15 rebounds along with 7 assists, it's Joel Embiid. That's to be expected. You got to expect that from a dominant player. But your job is to weather the storm. Gordon Hayward could have been better for them. They might could have gotten a little bit more out of Miles Bridges. But I just wanted to highlight two players that I know pretty much nobody's ever going to talk about, maybe. But that's JT Thor. He was a second-round pick out of Auburn, and that's and he's 6'9". He plays a small forward, power forward. He played 20 minutes, and he got a couple of buckets out there. 8 points. It's just good to see some guys play some split minutes, get a couple of assists, get a block shot, get a couple of rebounds, and show that they have some upside. They're just not at the bottom of the bench for a particular reason. They just at the bottom of the bench because of where the team is going. James Bouknight is the second guy that I watched during that game, and he had some exciting plays. Check this out. Come on, man, that dude Bouknight. Hey, you want to talk about jumping out the gym? I'm talking about this dude. This dude is bouncing off trampolines out there. You see how skinny he is? He looked like he about to snap like a twig at any given moment. It looked like at any given moment it's over for him. That boy Bouknight, man, I'm proud of him. That's just one game. It's the NBA. It's a long season, but with the COVID protocol coming down on 4 of the Charlotte Hornets rotations players, I'm expecting these young guys to get more minutes. They only had an 8-man rotation in this game, so it might be this rotation for the foreseeable future, for at least the next 2 games, and that's a nice amount of time for these young guys to get some opportunity, to be able to play, and to be able to just show that they have some capability, that they're just not gonna be out of the league soon or nothing like that. Let's talk about your boy Giannis Antetokounmpo. He had a birthday. This dude getting old, man. Hey, it's crazy how when you watch the league year by year and guys come in and guys come out, whatever the case may be, it seems as if the level of the league never shift. It seems like they always transition in and out, but dudes like Giannis gonna be missed when he's gone, man. Dude just turned 27, which is still particularly young, but these are the years that we're gonna take it for advantage. Last night versus Cleveland, he had a big game. He had 27 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. They got an easy win. He did that in 27 minutes. Just think about that. 27 minutes, he had 27 points. They won in Cleveland, and I don't know if I truly trust the Lowry marketing, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen starting lineup. That's 3 7-footers. I know Evan Mobley cover a lot of holes on the wings, as I stated in my last video. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. But I know my favorite rookie, he didn't play too well. He was dealing with Giannis. He shot 3 for 10. But I don't think the Evan Mobley, Lowry marketing, Jared Allen thing is the best idea. I think it's best to go ahead and play Mobley at the 3, put 2 shooters out there, and Okoro is good starting at the 3 because he plays defense. He was 0 for 6, so he got to find some type of offense, whether it's cutting or hitting a spot-up shot or running in transition, But I don't think I would do the Evan Mobley Lowry marketing, because that forces somebody to play on the perimeter, which I know Lowry marketing took 9 threes, so that's what he want to do. But is that what's best for the offense in general? I don't think so. I would probably go with Rubio. I'll probably start Rubio with Garland, along with Okoro, Mobley, and Jared Allen. That's just my personal opinion. It's good to see Chris Middleton out there with Giannis, still getting wins. I'm not sure, but the last time I seen the record, it was 11-0 that Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis is when they play together this season. They haven't lost a game when they start at 5. I don't want to spend too much time on this game, but the New York Knicks got a win over the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs pretty much didn't have anything going but Derek White, and that's pretty much all to be said about them. R.J. Barrett, I'm proud of him, man. Proud of him. He playing in a defensive system, so it's hard for him to get a lot of buckets. It's hard for him to really put up the numbers that his peers are. But he deserves this moment. R.J. Barrett, he was the number 2 pick, if I'm not mistaken. He was the number 1 player coming out of high school when they went to college. And I think a lot of people have maybe forgotten how good R.J. Barrett truly is, just because of the fact that his role has been minimized. And maybe his role haven't been minimized. Maybe I would say maybe he just haven't played up to the potential of a franchise player. He's shown that he's a good player for sure. He's definitely a starter, but all-star and all those things. He have a lot more to build on in terms of being consistent. He had 32 points on 11 for 20 shooting, so that's good to see. Julius Randle 5 for 12. I think he need to be more aggressive getting into the lane, playing out of the post rather than settling for jump shots. But that's neither here nor there. Everybody believes they got to have a skilled game, but sometimes you have to recognize that what you do best is where your bread is buttered. You know what I mean? Julius Randle came into the league as a player who was a finisher, who finished at the rim, who slashed to the rim, got dunks over people, boiling a China shop type of player. He need to get back to that, in my personal opinion. It's good to have that shot, because what it do is when you get to your bulldozer and you force 3 people, okay, now you got open teammates. Okay, now they play back. They don't want you to get to the rim because you got 10 layups already. Now you get your jumper going, and now you playing the game where every single shot is open and every single shot is efficient. You don't have to play an isolation game because teams are going to key in on you doing that. So that's just what I feel about Julius Randle thus far in the beginning of this season. He could be a lot better. Last year was a great year. But Julius Randle, he's a rhythm player, so I hope he get his rhythm going. Hope he find a stride and get the Knicks going in a positive direction. Right now the New York Knicks, where are they? They are in the 11th seed. Come on, but they still have a chance to get to the 7th seed, maybe the 6th seed. If everything go right. But yeah, big shouts out to Giannis, man. Happy birthday, belated birthday at this point, but. Proud to see Giannis, man. They started off bad because they had a lot of their rotation players out. Chris Middleton was out for time. Drew Holiday was out for time. Like I said, those guys only played 12 games together. It's been 25 games thus far, so they played nearly 50% or more without without all of their main players, you know. So and then also having DiVincenzo and Brook Lopez out, you know, that's been pivotal losses for them. They brought in DeMarcus Cousins, which tells me that the update on Brook Lopez probably isn't as good as we would want it to be. You know, we need Brook Lopez out there because you know he spread the three for Giannis to get to the lane. He also blocks shots. He rebounds. He's tall. You know, but I hope he's good because you know coming off of long surgeries and stuff like that and being out for a lot of time and trying to get back in shape in the middle of the season when you were already athletic liability technically. You know, he was slow. You know, he wasn't vertically gifted. You know, Brook Lopez was on the ground with most of the things he did. He used his size, his timing. You know, being in the right spot. You know, dunks off of dump. He got his dunks off dump offs, and you know he just catch and shoot the three. You know, but yeah, I hope Brook Lopez be able to at least come in and play some backup minutes for him if he don't get back to a starter level. Hopefully he can get back to the starter level, and you know, but he's getting older, and you know those injuries when you sit out for a long time, you know, those come back to hurt you big time. Another team that I seen, man, that was doing pretty good, man, was the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies have played 20 quarters without Ja Morant, and they have had the lead in every one of those quarters. Please tell me that's not a blessing. Please tell me that is not a blessing. The Memphis Grizzlies, Taylor Jenkins, if I'm not mistaken, Taylor Jenkins is their coach. They're 14-10 right now. They're number one in the Southwest Division. That is great, man. The Memphis Grizzlies have won 5 straight games. Sacramento, Toronto, Oklahoma City, Dallas, and Miami. Now, I know all of those games may have, you know, probably been, you know, scheduled wins, you know, with Sacramento. Toronto is a competitive game. You know, that was both teams scored under 100 points in that Toronto game. So, you know, it was a grit and grind, but they grinded it out. You know, they blew Oklahoma City out by a record finals margin. I need to stop watching Skip Bayless. Y'all need to watch me. Stop watching Skip. But yeah, they blew Oklahoma City out by 73 points, man. That's an NBA record deficit. And then they came back and beat Dallas. Then they also beat Miami, who didn't have Jimmy Butler or Bam. But man, 5 straight wins for a team without their best player, man, that is fairly impressive. That is fairly impressive, man. I'm interested to see what the Memphis Grizzlies have going forward for them because you know sometimes you have teams like that and you know they have a lot of young talent and you know they never make the move. And when I speak of the move, I'm talking about that move. You know, when you get those young players and you have some draft picks and you have a lot of assets built up, you have to unload 2 or 3 of those assets along with a pick, maybe 2, to get that player that takes you to the next level. You know what I mean? And maybe Ben Simmons is that player. Maybe, you know, I'm just throwing things out there. You know, maybe Miles Turner at the 5 instead of Steven Adams. Maybe he's the guy. You know, maybe, you know, you got to go get a guy that makes your team better. Not saying Miles Turner is a star player or nothing like that, but you got to go get a star, man, to put with Ja and Jaren Jackson, you know. And I'm interested to see in the next 2 years would they be willing to add that piece, you know, because it's always a risk. You know, it's not a guarantee to win when you make big decisions like Toronto did. A lot of things had to go right with Toronto making that trade for Kawhi, but it worked out for them. And they got the championship. Look at the Suns look at Milwaukee last year. Drew Holiday. They trade for him, give us some assets, you know, and they get the championship. Same thing with the Suns. Even though they didn't win, you know, they went to the finals in their first time back in the playoffs in over 10 years. Or maybe it was 10 exact years or whatever it was. It was a long time. It was a long time they wasn't in the playoffs, you know. So big shouts out to all the guys, man. That all the teams that's willing to commit to trying to be good, like the Hawks and teams that was making, you know, decisions on trying to make their roster better. You know, not only just be better, I'm talking about be competitive, like actually try to win a championship. So, yeah, man. Y'all tell me some teams that y'all been watching. Tell me some players y'all been looking out for, like young players. I want the players that's under the radar. Don't come talking about LeBron and Kevin Durant and Giannis. I don't want to hear nothing about those guys, man. Come holler at me about the Book Knights of the world, the Chris Dortes of the world. I want to see McBride that plays for the Knicks. Shouts out to the Knicks fans. I want to see McBride, man, get in the game because y'all might need to spice up some lineups. You know, you might have to try your young fellas every once in a while. But yeah, big shouts out to the teams that want to be competitive. I want to see y'all drop some comments on teams that y'all been peeping. You know, young players y'all been peeping. You know, future video ideas. It's the RiSSky Powerhouse Pod. Keep sharing. Keep getting those subscribers up. Keep viewing. Man, I love y'all, man. Truly do. I truly do. And we out. See me later. So I'm up editing the video, man. Right now it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm about to drop the video, and if y'all made it to the end, I just want to say thank y'all so much, man. Y'all the real ones, and y'all the ones that's gonna be the reason why this powerhouse grows. You know, trying to be as intimate as possible with all of my followers on all the apps, and I'm trying to, you know, build these conversations and amongst a group of people, you know, building up a community, a powerhouse. You know what I mean? So keep liking these videos. You know, keep commenting and video ideas. You know, I have not forgot about the jersey giveaway. It's continuous. It's still going. It's open right now. You know, drop a fire emoji, a period, and hashtag RiSSky Powerhouse. That's capital R-I, capital S, lowercase k, lowercase y, and powerhouse in all caps. Let's get that hashtag going on Twitter. Let's get that hashtag going on Facebook. Anytime you post anything basketball related, just hashtag that RiSSky Powerhouse, man. We're trying to get it going, man. Thank y'all for all the support. I expect this video to do better than the last one did. Thank God. Love y'all. Y'all will see me later.